thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Proverbs 18 and verse 22. When I think of the most powerful experience I have had in my entire life, I would say this was the day I became Mrs. Roy Washington Anderson on October the 13th, 2001. It is so ironic that this is my most powerful moment because all of my teenage years, I never wanted to be married. I was surrounded with many women who used to tell me that marriage is a trap and that women were going to be treated as their subordinate, as being subordinate to their partners. So I wanted no part of this lifestyle. I was going to become successful. I wanted to make my own money, and I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. I don't know if you've ever felt like that before, but this was how I felt as a teenager. In 1997, I attended my first wedding, and I was really, really impressed by what I saw at this wedding. The bride was immaculately dressed in her beautiful white gown. She wore golden boots, and her makeup was flawless. I thought to myself that, wow, one day I would like to look like this pretty girl, this pretty friend of mine. And so I decided that, all right, I was going to get married, but I wasn't going to marry to just anybody. I wanted to ensure that I had the list. Many of you ladies out there have had your list. On my list, I had that my husband had to be a certain height. He had to have a certain weight. He had to be a certain body mass index. And of course, he had to be rich because I wanted to go on a yacht for my honeymoon. It was 1999 when I met a wonderful, humble, sweet, charming man. His name was Roy Washington Anderson. He was a Christian and he always spoke about the Lord. He always talked about how God delivered him from many things and how he was happy being a Christian. I was a Christian too, but there was something about his enthusiasm and his excitement that I really, really liked. And he always shone when he talked about God. There was a time when I would only read my Bible one day for the week, and Roy would often say to me, how would you feel if you had a friend and they only wanted to know about you once a week, and that would be on a Sunday? And I was like, no, I wouldn't like that. And so he said, come on, we need to read the Bible together. So we started reading the Bible together. We started doing many ministry exploits. We would go feed the poor, look for the shut-ins, help kids with their homework. And it was really a joy to fellowship with him as we serve the human race. I realized that, maybe Roy could be my husband. So I decided to check my list again. So I went back to my list and there was nothing I could check off on the list. But alas, the Lord showed me that what I had on the list was not the things that I should want for my husband. You see, a good husband should be a godly man. He should be one that loves his wife, be the priest of his house. He should be able to lead his children, and he should pray and seek God's will for his life. I had to pray and ask the Lord, Lord, please forgive me, because the material things I was looking for were not the things that really, really, truly mattered. So I wanted to be like Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. But then I quickly realized that no, we have to serve and pray and look to God for him to show us how we ought to be. And it's not about our way, but it's about God's way. And so the time came when Roy asked me to marry him. And I happily said yes. And we lived happily ever after. No. That's not how it went. You see, no marriage has no conflict. There's always some little conflict in marriage. But I believe that happy marriages are those that are based when you marry your friend. I believe that when you marry your friend, I find in Roy a godly man, and a true friend. It is therefore no wonder that this is my account of my most happiest time in my life thus far. For those of you who are searching for your husband or your wife, I would ask that you pray and ask the Lord to help you to find and marry your friend. It is my belief that happy marriages are based on deep friendships.